Hey guys, how you doing? How are you? How have you been? I miss you. Do you miss me? So first of all, you know what, guys? I'm really excited about this. That I said, let me quickly share. I made my hair by myself. Yes, I did make my hair by myself. All I did was, use gel. Can you see the back? Then I brought like almost 10 attachments when I was coming, and I used a whole attachment for this, and I put it. It's just something that you can just roll on the hair. So when next I want to use it, I could use it again. So I'm just excited, and I thought to share. How are you? And of course, I did my makeup by myself. Like my makeup game has already changed. Like it's really changed, and I'm so happy. I like this for me. So how are you guys? So today, I'm going to discuss about childbearing. I know that it's not something that I've really shared ever since I had my kids, and I just thought I should talk about it today. So let's get right into it. When I took in for my son, I took in 2016. Yes, I took in 2016, although I had a miscarriage before I first had him, and it didn't take long. Maybe after 2 months I actually took in again. And the first thing that everyone should know is that morning sickness don't just start in pregnancy. Is until you know that you are pregnant. If you are pregnant, like you just took in and you don't know, or you know that you're just always tired, you always need rest, you will not have morning sickness. But the moment you go and check that you are pregnant, and you know that indeed you are pregnant, the morning sickness starts. So it's something psychological, if you ask me. So just know that, disclaimer, everything I'm saying here is going to be my experience. So don't just think that what happened might happen to me might happen to you. So as soon as I found out that I was pregnant, the morning sickness started. I began to throw up. I couldn't put anything down. The only thing that I could eat then was probably cabin biscuit or crackers. And any day that I'm being forced to eat, I would probably just like baby pepper soup that is really pepperish, so that I would not throw up. But the entire 4 months was hell. I was in and out of the hospital. Today they will say my white blood cell is short. Tomorrow they will say I can't even remember most of terminologies they used to use, but all I knew was that there was always one thing or the other when I was sick. And for the first 4 months, I couldn't hold anything down. I was always feeling dizzy. There was even a particular time that I fainted, and I'll let you know when I fainted. This was shortly after, maybe the 5th month. There's this strength that comes immediately after you are out of your first trimester. You feel to yourself that I've been feeling all lazy all this while. Now is the time for me to be like the energy will come from nowhere. Then I decided that I wanted to make my husband meal. I wanted to make him food, because all the time I was sick, it was as if it was me and him that was carrying this pregnancy. Because trust me guys, he was thin. He wasn't eating so well because obviously I wasn't cooking. So then I went to the meat markets, and I was going from one store to another, trying to buy shaki from shaki person, trying to buy goat meat, trying to buy ram meat and cow meat from different sources. And as I was in that places, I was seeing some places that they were actually slaughtering a ram, and the blood was gushing out. That thing made me dizzy. Like my eye turned this way and I fainted. All I knew was I was telling the person that was beside me that, please hold me, I am going to faint. Like I said it. I'm like, hold me, please. I think I'm going to faint. Then that was the last thing I knew that I said, and I found myself at the hospital. So even my second trimester, I needed to be careful on anything I wanted to do, because I was not as strong as I thought that. This is like a child is growing inside of you. Like, it's your first. Like, it's something that is not relatable to you just yet. So I had to take it easy. I had to learn and unlearn some things even while at that time. And again, another thing that was crazy when I was pregnant was the fact that my best meals were the meals that I hated. At that time, if you talk to me about rice and moi moi and Mortina, till date I still have phobia for those foods. I hate to take Mortina. Like I literally don't take Mortina anymore, because the things that I hated, I started to eat it in pregnancy. And as soon as I gave birth, those things that I really liked, I hate them right now. Like, I do not want to see or hear or even smell them. So am I the only one that this thing actually happened to? Because it's so crazy that I don't take Mortina again. Like, when I was pregnant, I can take Mortina but right now I don't take it again. Moi moi was something that I really liked in pregnancy. Right now, I hate moi moi to a fault. Like, fish pepper soup was something I liked in pregnancy. Right now, I hate fish pepper soup. All I want is beef pepper soup. So it's just crazy that the things pregnancy can make you do. And and another thing that that caught my eye during this pregnancy was also the fact that nobody prepares you for labor. Nobody prepares you for labor. No one literally sort of like tell you how we are supposed to push. Like, what was antenatal made for? In my antenatal, I don't think anyone told us that we're supposed to do this in order to push. When I was induced, I started to feel some maybe every minute, maybe every 5 minutes, I was having contraction. After some time, it turned to 10 minutes, it turned to 15 minutes, it turned to every 20 minutes, and the contraction started setting in. The first to second centimeter or 3 centimeter that I dilated, I was saying, I got this. I was even saying to myself that it's not really bad what people say about labor. When I got to 7 centimeter, all I remember was I was telling the nurse. No, I told my mom, because my mom came with me. I told my mom that I want to poo-poo. Immediately, my mom heard, you want to poo-poo? I was like, don't poo-poo. I'm like, but I really want to poo-poo. Then my mom pressed the bell and the nurses came in. And the nurses were like, you want to poo? I said, yes. They're like, okay, let's check your poo before you go. Let's see if it's soft. Actually, they were lying to me. They were trying to check how long I've dilated. Then when they said, like, the baby's here, the next they're like, okay, yeah, poo-poo. I'm like, no, I want to go to the bathroom. I'm like, oh, my love, you can't go to the bathroom. You need to poo here. I'm like, okay. Me, she's trying to be looking embarrassed. I'm like, okay. Then the next thing, all I could hear my doctor said is like, your baby's quite hairy. I'm like, what baby? It was at that time. Maybe they shouldn't have told me that it was a baby, because at that time I was now being scared not to push. Then they're like, you need to push. And then my 2 friends were with me that day. And one of them, who is a nurse, actually told me that I should hold my legs up together and try to apply force in holding my legs together and close my eyes and push. And after I did that, I know that my doctor assisted me in pulling out the baby. And it was as though, at that moment, it was as though I left something heavy, like, came out of me. I just felt light. I felt, when God said on the cross that it is finished. That was how I felt. He was indeed finished. And the next thing, they carried the baby on my chest, told me to pray. I prayed, I shed tears. I was crying. I'll put a picture here. I was crying, I was happy. At the same time, there were tears of joy, and I was just happy to see my boy. So that was the story of my first baby. Then the second baby, whom I had 2018, all the while I was pregnant for her. Everybody used to say girl child, that maybe you have it easy, right? There was no morning sickness. In fact, there was no throwing up. I was going about my days like I was not pregnant. But towards 8 months, it was as though I had all these morning sicknesses that I was supposed to have. I had it at my 8th month for my daughter. I was sick. In fact, I thought I was going to die, because I recall calling my dad, and I was telling my dad that, Dad, I need you to pray for me. I feel like I'm dying. And my dad said, no way. Not more than 10 Reverend Fathers called me to pray with me after I made that call to my dad that day, because I really, really felt like I literally saw my life flash at that moment, because I was just, I don't know how to explain the sickness for that 8 months. It took me maybe like 3 weeks, and I got over it. I went to see a doctor in California, and the doctor gave me some drug, and I think after I completed that drug, I felt a bit better. So after then, let me also bring you guys back that all my kids spent 41 months, 41 weeks, sorry. They spent 41 weeks in my tummy. I don't know why both of them were lazy, but my daughter was particularly lazy, because even as at the time that I was induced, they induced me in 3 different ways, and you will not believe that my daughter did not come out. I was never in labor for her. Nothing happened. She was just there sitting quiet, because at a point, I was at the hospital. I was due. My baby Bushra was supposed to be born on Christmas Day. My due date was 25th of 25th of December, but she didn't come. So my doctor called me to allow a week after, and maybe like 3 days after, my doctor called me to come to the hospital. Prior to then, my doctor told me to go and sit on big balls, go and walk on on the long staircases, or just take a long ass walk around, my doctor even advised me to take red wine. Like, she said, don't be too drunk, maybe just a cup. Then what's the name of this oil again? My doctor asked me to drink it. I did everything. My daughter was just like this in the tummy. She did not come at all. She was just in my tummy, sleeping, like lounging. So when my doctor did the scan, my doctor said, this baby is very lazy. Like, she's just in one position, she's not moving. So it was at that point that my doctor just told me that, look, I don't know what's going to happen, but just prepare for a cesarean section. I cried. You know what it feels like to have your baby normally, for your first baby, having your baby normally, and the second baby is now not wanting to come. Like, it was so traumatic for me. And when they caught my baby, I remembered that it took them to call a midnight nurse that has had 6 cesarean sections to come and speak to me. It was just like a therapy session for me, to come and speak to me, because I told them, like, I didn't want to have a cesarean section. Me now, me and my I'm an Hebrew woman, and God has told me in the Bible that I'm going to deliver like an Hebrew woman. My story taught me that either by cesarean section, either by having the child by yourself, you are still an Hebrew woman. Trust me. As long as your baby came out hale and healthy, and you also are hale and healthy, you are that Hebrew woman. So they wheeled me. I can never forget. They wheeled me to the surgery room, and before I could say Jack Robinson, my baby was out. And till today, I still tell my husband till today that if I have to do it again, I will choose a cesarean section. Because why? I was for my son, I was maybe like 3 hours in labor. Why did I waste that 3 hours when I could just have them cut me, take out the baby, and I will tell anyone, please, if you have your way, I'll tell you to choose cesarean section because it's not worth it. Maybe if you want to have the feelings of motherhood, being in labor, it's okay, but it's not worth it. The cesarean section is actually just fine. So yes, I had her, and my husband was there. Like, that man, do you understand what he was doing? As we were doing the process, he was busy whispering to me, babe, they just cut your tummy. You will come back again, babe, they cut the second layer. Babe, they brought out all your lungs and esophagus. Like, this was what he was literally doing. Babe, they put your lung on one side, after some time, he told me, I'll say you finish, nothing day. You don't fit do any shakara for me. While in the cesarean section, my husband was making all these jokes, and only for me to see him cry. When they brought out the baby, he looks exactly like his late mom. So he just busted into tears like, oh my God, this is my mom, come back to me. This is my mom. So he had his moment, and me, I was there lying down the way, sewing me back. And the doctor was trying to make me, talk like, your husband is either emotional, blah, 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 blah. He kept, making me not want to sleep back. All I know that after they sewed me back, they took me to the recovery room, and at that recovery room, it was another thing on its own because it was as though the room was upside down when I was at the recovery room. It was as though the room was upside down. That was when I knew I needed to sleep. After I got some rest and I opened my eye, I asked for my daughter and I saw my daughter. So the two birth stories are different, and I'm so thankful that I experienced these two different birthing processes. So no one is going to prepare you for all this. No one will ever prepare you for this childbearing. You need to to read books. There is something I actually downloaded when I was in the process of having my babies, is what to expect when expecting. At every month I know what to expect. At every month I know when the baby is kicking. I know when how the baby looks. I know that at this point I might be craving bottom pot of jollof rice. I know that at this point I might not want to see people. I know that at this point perfume would be a problem for me. It's a really good app that just make you know what to expect before you have all these nausea and any other thing. So that's it for my daughter, and let's see if there are any more things to discuss, but at the moment let's take a break. We'll come back soon. So most of the things that nobody will also tell you in pregnancy is the fact that most times you can just look at your husband and be like, you put me in this position, you put me in this situation, like I hate you right now. I don't know if I'm the only one, but I had that moment where I just looked at him and I feel like, you put me in this situation, like how, why can't you also carry this baby with me? Why can't you be pregnant? Why can't you conceive? Like, hell. So there are moments that even when he's talking to me, I don't answer. Like, you are irritating me at the moment. Just go away. And there are times that when they are going out and they're using perfume, like, your perfume is nauseating me. I want your perfume smell like shit right now. Can you leave this place? Like, your cream is smelling like you are stinking to me. Like, those were the crazy, moment that I had with my husband, and it almost made me feel like, I understand some people who say they don't want to be pregnant or they don't want to have a baby when they hear such stories about, pregnancies. And There are also times I do not want to speak to anyone, not even my husband. I just want to be on my own. Like, I'm so grateful to God for the job he gave me at that point, because I could not go to work for like a week and I will not call my boss or call anyone that and explain why I'm not at work. Like, I don't care. I'm not calling them. I'm not saying anything to anyone. I will not just turn into work. And my colleagues will be blowing up my phone and I will not take their calls. Like, it was so crazy that I was beginning to act like a mad woman. So that one again is another thing that, I just said to myself that, God, am I sure I want to do this again? I'll tell you what, when I realized I was pregnant for my daughter, I almost took it out. Like, it took my husband to go and report me to my parent that I don't understand why Ella is pregnant and she's speaking to me that she wants to take it out, because I've not gotten over all what I went through for my son. And just a year apart, I realized I was pregnant and I cried. I shed bloody tears. That how can I be pregnant again? Like, how? So, a lot of people had to surround me even for my second baby, because it was as though it was a child that wasn't meant to come. But look at her today. Like, God, if God has probably showed me like a premonition of how she would be if I didn't have her, I probably would have killed myself, because come on, how can I go and abort that girl? How? So that's another thing I'm thankful for. Then another thing that you'll be crazy in pregnancy. I remembered one time. I'm laughing because this is crazy. When I tell my driver as at that time, like, okay, please, can you pass this road, because I feel like there'll be traffic on this road. And my driver, being a driver and saying, no ma, that place is exactly where there will be traffic, let me pass this place. Do you know that the moment my driver passes where I don't tell him to pass and there's traffic there, I'll just start crying in the car. I can imagine how I traumatized that poor driver that time. Like, the guy will now be begging me, madam, I'm sorry, the traffic will move, I'm sorry. I will be crying like serious tears. Why did you pass me to take this place? I thought there would be traffic. I will now call my husband and be reporting, shouting, raking, like, Mr. Larry passed this place and I told him not to pass this place. It took time for my husband to understand me. That my husband was like, okay, I'm sorry, what would you want me to do, baby? Okay, do you want to cross to the other side? Let me come and pick you. Like, my husband have done that too for me during pregnancy. There was another time that I woke up and I told my husband that I feel like eating fresh fish and I want him to go and fish. I told him I feel like eating seafood, crabs, fresh fish, prawn. God bless my husband. My husband actually went to Makoko. Went fishing with a fisherman in Makoko. God, do I still have those pictures? Went to ShopRite, bought a griller, came to the house, called me downstairs, put a chair outside, cleaned the griller, and showed me all the fresh fish. He even showed me pictures of when they were catching it, and he finished grilling it. And guess what I told my husband? I don't feel like eating it. The guy was like, babe, do you know I went this morning to Makoko? I went fishing by myself and you're saying you don't. I said, okay, give me the crab. I just licked the crab and I gave it to him. Like, the guy could not understand. Then another day, I'll wake up and tell him, I feel like kiwi. My husband will go to ShopRite, go and buy kiwi. He will peel the kiwi for me and I'll eat the kiwi. Eat the kiwi. After eating like 10, like, how am I supposed to eat 10 kiwis? Then I'll throw up. Like, I had crazy experiences in that pregnancy that you can imagine my craziness when I took in again and I said, no, I'm not having this baby. I want to abort this baby because I don't think I can. I don't think I'm mentally ready for another baby because I know all what I went through for this first baby. So, guys, that's most of the crazy things that will happen in pregnancy that, people will not tell you about. It is you experience it yourself, and When you now have the baby, then you sit down and start thinking that, oh, I was actually going crazy. I was indeed going crazy. Then you now see what I mean when I tell people that I've had a boy, I've had a girl. Why else? Why again do I want to be pregnant? Hello? Esokwe? Enikwe? Esokwe? I don't want to have any baby again. Shitty. Like I remember during I just came back from colonial service in Manchester in the UK, and the man of God was praying that anyone that wants child of the womb, that is looking for child of the womb, that they should come out. And as he was praying, when they are praying, and he was using Sarah to pray, and I felt like, let me be saying amen. And should be, these are good prayers that you God will not forget you. The book of remembrance shall remember you. Only for me to say, hey Ella, you are saying amen. This pastor is praying for children. Do you want child? Immediately I say, God forbid, God forbid. Because trust me, I do not want to have to go through any of that again. Like, I'm done. God has given me a boy. God has given me a girl. May He look after them for me. May He make them grow. May they surpass me. May I, may I see my children's children. And my God, keep them alive for me. Keep them healthy. And make them proud. Make me proud of them in Jesus' name. So thank you guys. If you are here and you're, looking for this type, waiting for this type of testimony, looking up to God on a child, I pray that God listens to your heart desires. I pray that God, uses this, just this video. I pray that God uses it as a point of contact for you to conceive. You would have this baby. God will give you double for this lateness. You would in fact, I don't know how to pray it. May God just answer all your innermost heart desires, and may your dreams come true. Okay, don't worry. The book of remembrance is for you. God will remember you. You will carry your baby with your back, with your hand, and with your legs. You shall dance forward and give thanksgiving to our Heavenly Father. Thank you so much for watching. For my dress, I'm wearing a Zara beautiful dress. I'm gonna put a picture here for you. It's just £25 and I love it. I love it. So I think I should have gone for a medium because this is large and I feel like it's a bit big. Yes, so just take a firm size when you want to buy it. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to comment, don't forget to give me thumbs up, guys. Don't forget to share to your loved ones. Don't forget to also, tell your loved ones to subscribe to me. See you again next time. I love you.